It says we're tardy. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to episode 2 of Cover to Cover, a show where we break down an album, talk about it, discuss it. Tonight, with my co-host, he's the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, Hialeah Comic Bro.
Donnie, what's up, Javi? What's up, everyone, man? Cannot wait. I'm always excited to talk, man. I don't care. I'll talk anything.
And introducing our guest this evening, and maybe more episodes in the future.
Definitely.
Yes.
He's one of the greats on guitar, the best licks this side of everywhere. Conquistadorks, Javi.
What's going on, Mastodon,
doing,
Donnie,
man?
Hialeah Comic Bro,
Javi.
Raul? What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man?
All right.
You know I have to be part of the music shows, man.
Of
You know
course.
I gotta be a part of that.
Of course. Of course.
Tonight's show is Pink Floyd's
Nice.
Dark Side of the Moon, one of the most epic albums ever. Ever.
Definitely.
It was released on March 1st, 1973. Come from Harvest Records, and that's I don't know if they're in business anymore.
I don't think so. No, they might have become.
But I'm pretty sure it was a UK label.
Mhm.
Yeah, they might have.
Gray Man
became
might be able to
EMI.
help us out there.
Yeah.
It was recorded between June and January, so there's a 6-month time frame of them playing around with it, from 72 to 73 at Abbey Road Studios. And this is one of the things that I found out that I didn't realize. I guess I just didn't realize it today.
Mhm.
It was actually the 8th studio album by Pink Floyd.
Yes.
And I guess, 73, that's pretty early in their career. I didn't think, that they had put that many out by that point. But the singles were Money and Us and Them, with the B-sides being Any Color You Like and Time.
Mhm.
And for Time to be a B-side, wow. What a B-side, right?
That's my favorite That's my favorite song on the whole album. Is Time.
Oh my God.
It's
I kick into gear every time that thing hits.
Oh my God.
I mean,
It's a great song, beautiful song.
I know Javi and I had chatted about that a little bit. He had shared it in his story, and I was like, oh man, when that beat drops.
Right? Right?
Yes. It is in the top 25 best-selling albums of all time,
Wow.
which is definitely warranted. But it was only number 1 for 1 week.
Wow.
But it spent the next 15 years on the Billboard charts.
Oh, 15 years. What is that's
15 years, yeah. 741 weeks. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I remember when it fell off. It was a big deal when it finally fell off. They announced it.
They did?
Yeah, man. That was a 15 years. And I'm not saying breaking news and interrupt everything, but they mentioned it. I remember in the news they mentioned it today or this week. Pink Floyd, Dark Side, or it might have even been on MTV. In the Kurt Loder days with the news flash, and they announced it, man. Because 15 years, that was unheard of. It's still unheard of. Crazy.
Yeah, and it actually predates the platinum era. They hadn't made that
Mm-hmm.
distinction for sales yet. So when they created it in 90 or 91, it was instantly certified 11 times platinum.
Wow.
11 times.
Wow.
And they estimated that it's sold 9.5 million copies since then.
So it's 14. So is it 14 times platinum now, or something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oof.
Yeah. Isn't that ridiculous? That's crazy. 45 million records worldwide.
They became instant. They were made with this album, dude. Can you imagine that?
Right.
Instant stardom.
Yeah. This is their 2112.
Yes.
I mean, I know I shouldn't compare them to Rush, but this is their, that 2112 made Rush, and
Exactly.
like you said, this made Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
without a
this
doubt.
definitely put them out there on the map, and not. I mean, they of course were successful in UK, but this also just made them even more successful
Right.
in America as well.
Household name.
International stars.
Yeah.
International stars.
Let's talk about that cover. So simple.
So
Iconic.
simple.
It's
Iconic.
yeah, iconic. Yeah. Well, you know, Hialeah, you know all about that.
I got it. I got it tattooed right here on my shoulder, man. And I freaking love it.
What better icon, It was designed by Hypnosis, who was the company that was responsible for majority of their previous albums.
Yeah.
But apparently there was some confusion about those other albums, so they went with a more conventional style. They were trying to shoot for a little classier, and I guess they had four choices they were presented with, and they picked that one, not for the astronomical aspect, but the lunacy aspect, because it was supposed to be a retrospective on the things that they had gone through as a band in writing, and the mental issues that Syd Barrett had.
Right.
But it was just a random photo that they found in the book.
It was just a random photo. Very minimal. They didn't really have to put more than what they needed to. I don't know if they realized that it was going to be such a iconic image, because you see this image and you immediately associate, the triangle with the rainbow coming out of it. You immediately associate that with Pink Floyd nowadays. But yeah, just very simple.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, right. There's
yeah.
I think they made the right choice. It's what you're trying to say. They made the right choice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just a plain black album, and it was gatefold originally too, I guess.
I read that also.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a prism.
I was trying to dig my copy out earlier, because I do remember opening up and seeing there was more to it, and it's in the bottom of one of those boxes. I was like, no.
You have
time for that.
You have the CD or the vinyl?
Yeah.
The CD.
The CD.
Yeah.
I was actually at an antique shop earlier, and I thought maybe I could pick a copy of vinyl up, but no, I didn't find it. Oh well.
Yeah, it's not one that's out there in the wild a lot. It's more rare.
No.
This one. Yeah. I think originally it didn't even have, because I know this one that you're showing has the, I guess, watermark, you want to call it, with the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. I think originally it was without it. It was just pure black, no name, no nothing, no album name on it, just the image.
I think this was the reissue when they brought it out on CD.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you guys fans of the earlier Pink Floyd albums?
Not as much as the later Pink Floyd stuff.
I like Medley, and what was the second album? Thoughts Are Full of Secrets.
Oh, okay. Then they have like Uma Guma or something like that.
Yeah, Uma Guma. But the rest of the earlier stuff I haven't listened to too much.
I tried listening to some of the Sid Barrett stuff, and it was very kind of out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it was, of course, during the time of like the Yardbirds, more of like the British invasion sort of pop rock, but at the same time they were trying to, I guess, be more rebellious or more different, more of a psychedelic.
Mm-hmm. That's Piper at the Gates of Dawn is a lot like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A lot of their stuff was super jammy though. Like Medley
mm-hmm.
is like the instrumentals on it and the instruments on it are very, and it's very driven by the music. But it wasn't until later that I got more into Pink Floyd, after Sid Barrett passed away and after the whole, I guess that hardship and that influence that really hit the rest of the band members.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say I just can't get into the early stuff, man. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, but I just cannot get into it. I've tried on a couple of times, and I just can't get into it. And actually, I didn't get into Pink Floyd until like 91, which is, to me, it's crazy because I never just took the time to listen to them. Like, of course, I heard Another Brick in the Wall and, those songs.
Yeah.
Wish You Were Here. That's the one I heard all the time.
And I had a friend named Milton, and he would be like, you need to listen to Pink Floyd. You need to listen. And I just never did. And I finally went out and got Dark Side of the Moon. And oh my God, I've never been the same ever since. It just blew my mind. And then it was just like, okay, then I gotta go get Wish You Were Here. And then I skipped over Animals. I went to The Wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did get the Division Bell and those, but I wasn't too much into those. And then I got into Animals when I went to the concert. I went to see Roger Waters, and now I freaking love Animals. But
Animals is amazing.
Dude, those 4 albums to me, man, what a run! I know we're talking Dark Side, but my God, those 4 albums, they're all freaking masterpieces. What a run those guys went on.
Yeah.
Just amazing. And it started with this one, and it's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had kind of a similar thing. I was in college, and my buddies that I was hanging out with had, they knew I was a big Grateful Dead fan.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And a lot of times Grateful Dead and Pink Floyd, they tend to have the same listening group.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, I can't believe you don't listen to Floyd. I at that point, Another Brick in the Wall was the only one I'd ever heard. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's overplayed. I'm so sick of that song. Anyway,
I could see that.
It is.
But my local radio station plays that song to death.
Yeah, but actually, that's Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, right? Because they have a part 1. They have the intro to it, and the intro to it is actually really good.
Yeah, it is. It is. I wish they'd play that part more.
Yeah.
But so I picked up Echoes, the best of the compilation.
I got that as well.
And that is what made me pick up Wish You Were Here, because of Welcome to Machine and Have a Cigar. And I was like, I got to pick this album up. That album was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, there's a lot of hype about Dark Side. I suppose I should check it out. So I bought that. It was the second album that I bought. Second studio album that I bought. And blown away.
It's crazy. Have you ever gone? I remember when I was like, I think in high school and all this, and I never went. The same friend told me, bro, let's go watch it, to go see the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, the light show.
Oh, I've always wanted to see it, but I never got to check it out.
I never got to see it. They had it here in the planetarium, and everybody would just go and look up, and it was with all the light show was all over on the ceiling, and they always told me about it, and I never freaking went, dude. I still regret that. Still regret it.
A guy I used to work with he was always talking about Pulse and that live show, and he said the album, when you bought the album, the limited edition, it had this light on it. It would blink.
Oh,
no, it's badass.
He said the battery died on it, and it's one of those ones that you can't replace.
That is cool. That is cool.
Could you guys imagine seeing them? Because I know you've seen Hialeah, you've seen Roger Waters.
Roger Waters. Yeah.
Right, do The Wall and his other songs.
Yeah.
Could you imagine seeing Pink Floyd at the height of their career?
Like in '79?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I believe when they did that Wall tour, they only did a few shows, right? It wasn't a ton of shows.
Maybe, but I'm not too sure about it.
When they would bring down the Wall, I think they only had a handful of shows, if that, because it was such a big production. When I saw it, when I saw Roger Waters do it, it was more modern stuff. It wasn't a big deal, and I saw it 2 nights back to back. I took my oldest son the first night, and then the next night, me and my second son went and saw it, and they had it down, dude. It wasn't the big production. It was a big production, but it's just more modern technology and all that, so they could do it. And it was freaking mind blowing, man. Mind blowing. It was crazy, crazy, crazy.
And he's playing with, he's playing with other musicians, right? He's not playing with the Pink Floyd, right? He's not playing with David Gilmour, because they had a falling out.
Yeah. And it sounded just like the album did. I remember the guy that played the guitar sang just like David Gilmour. It was just insane. He was great. I remember the guy had long hair, and he would just stand on top of the freaking wall, and he would jam on oh my God, dude. And then he sang, and it was just insane, dude. Just insane. They had the plane. I remember we're talking The Wall. I'm sorry, guys, but they had the plane would come. That song, and then you hear the plane crashing. They had like an army plane, and it would go it would fly on a wire down to the wall, dude. And then, shit, dude. So good. Did you read the guy that designed the album cover? I think I got the name right. His name was Storm Thorgerson. Did you write that down?
Yeah.
Dude, what a great name. The guy that designed the cover was named practically Thor. Storm Thor.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Perfect, right? For us with the comics and everything. It's freaking great.
Yeah, he's the one that found it in a photography book.
It was
he found the picture. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let me share my screen again, and because Wikipedia has a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Right there it is. That's the picture that was in the.
That's the picture that influenced it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a prism. It's what, the spectrum of light.
There we go. That's better.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
And
so it's basically what he did was turned it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
And you think of the name too, like Dark Side of the Moon. It's like the side of the moon we never see, right? The side of the moon that never gets any sun, or whatever it is. It's like it was. I don't know how they picked that. It's such a good name.
Yeah. Well, it's they were shooting for more of the lunacy tone, the mental tone, the dark side of the mind,
Right.
rather than a spatial tone, or not spatial. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Cosmic. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
cosmic, or yeah, I know what you mean.
And now we know that Transformers are on the dark side of the moon. So
yeah, that's what's on there.
that's what's over there. That's been discovered, years ago.
But I guess they performed it at the Rainbow in London,
Mm-hmm.
a full year, and that's where it got a full year before the release. So they hadn't even recorded it yet,
Right.
and they performed it. I guess it was in February of '72, so before they even hit the studio. So they got the accolades for it. So they were like, maybe we better do something with this. I would have loved to have been in that audience.
Oh,
right. Man. Could you imagine
watching that first performance? Oh wow,
dude! Can you imagine, dude? Those people didn't even know what was going on, and they were just, "What is this?" And you heard it, and then it comes up, and it becomes this. It's like, man, I heard that back in the day. We were oh my God, the dark side of the moon.
I heard that at the Rainbow.
Wow. You know what? You know what's also cool about this album? The time it came out, it's when you would probably hear it with the big headphones.
Mm-hmm.
You would just. Yeah. I would imagine this came out. Hey, Mike, John, Sally, I got the album. Come over, man. We're gonna have a listening party, and then everybody just goes, smokes a little doobie, puts it on, closes their eyes, and just sits back and enjoy. It's like an event, It's not like now, that doesn't happen now. But back in the day, you will get together with your, and just experience it. And honest to God, the best part of this album is that one track flows into the other. You don't even know one's ending, and it's just you're just on a ride.
Right.
And that's the best part, man.
It's almost like a concept album.
Yeah,
in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, you just experience it.
Just the way that album starts, it's so quiet, so subtle, and all of a sudden you're in the album.
Yeah.
Right.
It sneaks up on you. You don't even, you forget it's playing, and all of a sudden you hear, what the hell is that?
Well, this was a time where like there was more of a studio presence in recording.
Yeah.
There's always been studio presence, but there's more time. Like you said, they spent 6 months recording it. So they had a lot of time to kind of mess with the sounds, kind of get a little bit more experimental with the sounds. There was more technology that was available, different synthesizers and things like that they could, with the push of one button, they could play a whole sequence of notes and repeat that over and over and over and over again, like how you hear in some of these songs. Yeah, it's very experimental, but it's still kind of tame, right? It doesn't go super, super progressive. But, like you said, it's not like you're getting kind of lost where, you can get lost to a certain extent, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're in with an
Right.
actual song.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
which is the song that starts with the bells or the clocks going off? Is that On the Run?
That's with the one with the clocks, it's Time, but
Right.
On the
Okay.
Run,
Yeah, it's right before that, right?
yeah.
Right before
So
it starts.
yeah,
Dude, when you're listening and that hits, you're in. It's time. You're hearing the bells. It's like, okay, school's in session.
Yeah.
You better be ready for the rest of what you're gonna hear, man. It's
Right.
it's mind blowing.
Yeah. It reels out of On the Run, and
right.
yeah.
And then it kicks in.
One of the other things that I didn't realize is that it wasn't just Alan Parsons. He had a team
Mm-hmm.
working on the production of that album. I thought that was really cool. It's like, what? Forget the other two guys' names. Peter James and Chris Thomas was the production team.
Nice.
The one that sticks out is Alan Parsons, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like a sore thumb.
Exactly. And then I read some of it too. I didn't know he worked on, I think, Let It Be and Abbey Road. I think he worked on the album Abbey Road too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he made his own band, right? Or his own. I think that was like a duo, right? The Alan Parsons Project. I think it was him as one other person. I just don't know who that was.
I'm not super familiar with the production, at least, but I know that it says right there all lyrics are written by Roger Waters.
Yeah.
He's not easy to get along with, but dude, what a freaking genius. He's very opinionated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Wolfson was his partner in the Alan Parsons Project. Yeah.
Nice. I gotta check that out. The album is fine tuned, I should say, to the production value. It's really, really well produced.
Yeah.
For what you said, 1976, right?
73.
1973. You can imagine. There's really no. I mean, of course, we hear the remasters and the digital format songs,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still like there's really no bleed from any instruments. Everything sounds clear. Everything sounds quiet when it needs to sound quiet. It sounds loud when it needs to sound loud.
The transitions are really smooth.
Yeah, transitions are really smooth. The whole overall production values is definitely something to credit for sure.
Yeah. And I think if I remember right, and this is from Music 101, because we had discussed this a little bit, that they were one of the forerunners of higher production and use of synthesizers and things of that nature.
Because I mean, even the Beatles weren't using synthesizers to the great extent that I don't even know if they were, but like what we hear on this album, you hear the and then like layering that on top of another one, and then adding like some clock noises and some hammer dings and bells and everything. Yeah,
there's only two other bands that I can think of that were doing similar stuff to that, and that's Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Emerson, Lake and Palmer. But I don't know that they did it to the extent that Pink Floyd did with this album. They may have followed suit later, but
you know what's awesome though? They did all that stuff, and also the voices, and you hear people talking.
Oh,
yeah.
And they did do all that stuff, but it didn't feel like it was overdone or forced. Or it's like, okay, man, we got this little trick. Let's just keep doing that, and let's see where else we could stick it in. And this, they didn't overdo anything. You know, it was a lot of self control with that stuff. And you don't
Right.
feel like you're bombarded hearing all the little gadgets. It's just the flow's insane.
Yeah. Well, like how Javi said, it fit where it needed to fit.
Exactly.
The tone was right where it was supposed to be, and I mean, it's probably a good thing that they spent the time with it.
I think it's super interesting how you mentioned how they played it before they recorded, which makes me assume like, okay, if they already had the songs written and were able to play it in a live setting, then that just reinforces, okay, they could already play it. They could, it doesn't take them that long to record it because they can already play it. It's not like a lot of bands that go into an album and then need to think, or go into a studio and need to think about the album in the studio, right?
Yeah.
They already had
Already
everything
been processed.
Right. They already had everything kind of planned out. All they had to do was really add those nifty effects on top of it.
Right. Well, it's my understanding that the roots of the album began in 71.
Okay.
Says it here. Beginning here. Yeah, after Medley, they started going into it, and this is where said Waters' idea was for an album that dealt with things that make people mad, focusing on the pressures faced by the band during their arduous lifestyle and dealing with the apparent mental problems suffered by former band member Sid Barrett. So everything that they were going through was basically the muse for the album.
Oh, if you go up, I think they show a picture of the synthesizer there.
Right there.
Yeah, that VC3, I think it is. Dude, that looks like a air traffic control unit or something.
What a piece of equipment, right?
Right.
Good grief.
But can you imagine being in the studio, right, and having all this knowledge, like, and then just sitting down and being like, okay, that's a new toy that I can mess around with, right?
Yeah.
Like, they probably had so much fun and enjoyment, like, making up these sounds and sequences and things like that.
I bet. I just am looking at. Yeah, it wasn't that old.
Yeah, there you go. 1969.
Brand new equipment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's impressive.
What a great year, 1969.
Yeah. Not just for technology, but the music that was spun out of it. Good Lord.
The burst.
I think
The burst.
I think it's really important to note that, I mean, yeah, whatever you may think of Roger Waters and whatever, the type of person that he was, the band that had to deal with him, he really had a vision as far as being and sort of almost carrying Sid Barrett's legacy and continuing that.
Right.
Because without Sid Barrett, and this is like, yeah, we may not listen to as much as the early Pink Floyd, but if it wasn't for Sid Barrett, we really wouldn't get all these future. I mean, we wouldn't get The Wall, we wouldn't get Dark Side of the Moon.
Right.
It was really because of him that all of this spun out.
Right.
You feel they carried a lot of guilt?
Maybe that's one of the things that made them so defensive towards each other,
Yeah.
Because maybe, because I know Sid Barrett was the front man, right? Sid Barrett was the front man, and now he's not there anymore. Then they're maybe shy about being, taking the mantle of a leader. Maybe they're like trying to divide leadership between the four members, but it's really not one guy is his ego is trying to get in the way of, you know, it's really all of that, you know.
Right. Well,
They,
no, Sid carried a lot of resentment for David,
mhm.
Right.
because he felt like he was being replaced when he joined the band, and without really understanding that that wasn't the case, it was just an addition
Right.
to fill out the sound.
Right. Because Gilbert was
So
brought in a few albums before Dark Side, right, or right before Dark Side, and then
yeah,
yeah,
uh,
I can see that happening. And plus, and Sid in the mental state that he was.
yeah, yeah. I think he was in came in on the third album.
Oh, okay, that far
Not
back.
sure.
I think Guilt played a big role with all of them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's you know, and then after Sid Barrett's passing, you know, you still have all this weight on your shoulders as far as, you know, they still want to play music, right? They don't want to split up. They don't want to go separate ways. They've already established 8 albums together, if you can imagine that. So what are you going to do but continue?
Right.
Yeah, Roger Waters really taking sort of that vision, you know, something that he's dealt with emotionally firsthand, you know, the dealing with the mental psyche and the things that drive you mad, right? And you can hear it in these songs, like it all kind of, you know, we have 10 songs, 3 of them are instrumentals, which is pretty, it's not common, right?
no,
For rock bands,
no,
for
not
3 of
that
them to
early
be,
either.
yeah, not that early, right? And then to
Yeah,
have this much of a commercial success and 3 of those songs be instrumentals,
right.
you know.
But
But
I think
they're all classics.
right, and I think because they faded into each other so well,
Hmm.
it's almost not noticeable that they're a
Exactly.
separate track. Like "Speak to Me" and "Breathe" kind of go together, and
Uh-huh.
then "On the Run" is like the segue into time. So it's like, eh,
You can't get these songs and flip them around and put time. You know what? We'll end it with time. We'll put
no,
it on the run, and we'll start with on the run. Then we'll go into, you know what, money. You know, we'll put it right after on. You can't do that with this. It wouldn't
no,
work.
it doesn't work.
Yeah,
No,
if you rearrange the songs, it doesn't.
And you can't
yeah.
rearrange the songs. They
No.
are in the order that they're meant to be, and they cannot be changed.
Sorry, Alfred Molina, you can't remix the tape.
No, you can't, dude. There's no mixtape with this. This is the way it's supposed to play.
Yeah,
Yep. Speak to Me, like you guys said, has that very, like with the voices and everything, you know, what they, you know, you kind of get a sense of what the album is supposed to be about right at the beginning,
Mhm.
with the, you know, dealing with madness, dealing with voices, you know, all the pressure that they had to deal with as a band, and how that translates to the listener, all the pressure that they have to deal with in everyday life, you know, work, family, you know, meeting expectations of all these different you know, facets of life, right?
Mhm.
And then right into Breathe, with then everything kind of sort of calms down, but the lyrics are so, like, it's I feel like it's such a great album for listeners
Mhm.
because you can hear it and you can connect with almost every single lyric.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
breathe in the air,
yeah,
right? You're just like, okay, let me take a step back. Let me look at everything that's in front of me. You know, it's just take a breath, right? Oof, it's so
I,
good, right?
I find myself singing that lyric at work a lot.
Breathe in the air. Just relax.
Yeah.
Except in my case, it's breathing in cardboard dust.
Uh, it's dude. This is just mind blowing. We haven't even gotten into the whole, the Oz connection.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Um,
Which it's I don't know who was the first one to be like, "Oh my God, I made this connection," you
yeah,
know, like because it says up there who started this rumor, right? Who would
right.
have thought to watch Wizard of Oz and then put this album on?
dude, when somebody first let me know about it, I can't see Wizard of Oz without the freaking Dark Side of the Moon soundtrack playing. I'm sorry, I just can't see the original anymore.
Well,
I
that's what the Dark Side of the Rainbow.
Yeah, Dark Side
Yeah.
of the Rainbow. Donnie, you saw that for the first time this week, right?
Yep. Thursday night I watched it.
And what are your feelings?
Um, for me, there was there. I suppose there was probably more hype than there was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um,
You need
it's
a
it. I saw the syncing up. Um, in certain places, like when Dorothy's singing somewhere over the rainbow, and you hear the airplane sound, and she's going like, "That's freaking awesome!" And like, Hialeah, you'd mentioned about when she's balancing on the fence,
Yeah.
and she falls into the pit when the beat drops. It's like, oh, okay. And when she's talking to the guy that played the Cowardly Lion,
Uh-huh.
his mouth synced up with the of whoever was talking or singing in the song. Yeah,
Also on that scene when she's balancing it also says balanced on the biggest wave.
yeah, yeah,
Right there.
yeah,
What about the great gig in the sky?
yeah, yeah. That I thought that was perfectly matched.
And then the minute it stops and they get it right when
Yeah,
they get into what is it? Is it right when they? It's the money, right? Right when money starts, when it turns to when the colors come on,
yeah,
dude. And the little we are the.
yeah.
Oh my god, man!
I like the part where it matched up with the witch with uh
Black, black and blue. Is that what they say? What is it? What's the line? Black. Oh my god, what's the line?
well I was when she comes rolling in on her bicycle
Oh, on the
and
bike.
you hear the chimes
Yeah.
yeah.
and it sounds like she's ringing her bell.
Yes.
Well, right when you hear the ominous the is when they're sitting down talking to her, and it's like, oh my god, it's like this woman's evil.
Dude,
But the album ends before the movie ends, right?
it ends at
Right? Yeah,
the Tin Man
Yeah.
with the
yeah.
heartbeat,
They're talking to the Tin Man.
and you hear the heartbeat. Da-da,
Yeah,
da-da.
Yeah, I think Gray Man said it. He said whoever it was may have had a few spliffs before they did it.
yeah.
Do you guys think it's an accident, or is that too much coincidence?
No, I think
Hey,
it's
Puff.
oh, what's going on, Stay Puff? I think it's a coincidence.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a
yeah.
coincidence. You know,
See,
I
they
can't.
all the band members deny it. Alan Parsons denying it. He said there was no shenanigans going on during production associated. It was not even mentioned.
No, but how does it connect that well? I mean, it's not everything,
It's
of course. It's not everything, but
it's
the whole
something. It's
piece.
I think that's just the power of music
Yeah,
because I mean it's just human nature to connect things and connect dots, right? And you're like, oh my god, that was. Did you see?
yeah,
Did you notice that? Yeah, you know, it's just it's just the power of how the music just works, you know, because
Right.
like you said, it's not that every single
everything.
beat lines up, but when the beat does line up,
Yeah.
we automatically catch it, right?
Right. Well, I
Look,
guess
Yeah.
Echoes is supposed to line up with a certain portion of 2001.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Shut up, you. I forgot to mute her. Oh, I said Echo.
Yeah, you said Echo, yeah.
Dude, I didn't know that. I haven't heard that.
That's hilarious.
Somebody did it with Wally too. They
Really?
synced up the wall with Wally.
I think that's very that fits, right?
Yeah.
The message of Wally and the wall.
Another brick in the Wally, it says.
Yeah.
But anyway. But yeah, I was impressed. But
Did you finish
like,
watching The Wizard of Oz after the album
no,
ended? Or?
no, I didn't.
No,
No.
no, stop. It's over. The movie ends.
Yeah.
I know. I know people have gone and tried to do "Wish You Were Here" with the other half of the album, but it's not there. It's nowhere close.
I know that the B side has you know, Money and Us and Them, right, on the B side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Eclipse. I forgot the other one that what the name was. They're more
Brain damage.
brain damage. They're more I don't know how to say this. It's more of like a I don't want to say filler, but it's they all kind of like this goes back to what we were saying before, of like how everything kind of flows together.
Mhm.
It all kind of sounds in the same key, you know, if you're talking like musical in the musical sense, it's all kind of in the same key, all use these all it's all kind of using the same notes, but they're still able to make each song unique.
Mhm.
And it's like even the lesser known songs of that album are still great. Like one thing
Right.
that I love about Pink Floyd, and they do this kind of all across all their albums, they always have like a funky feel to it, right? It's always kind of like not so straight, but it kind of makes you go like, oh man, that's like make that face like, oh, right, like, oh man, yeah. And it's so like the drummer is not like he's a really good drummer, but he's not like doing crazy fills or like anything
Right.
super syncopated. The keyboardist is just laying it down. He's like not really trying to outshine or be more loud than the guitar or anything like that. It's just very, very nice, held in the background, very tight. They have a very tight sound, and it's very in the pocket. It's great. I always love the funkiness that they add and bring out in their albums and their songs. And it's not like like 70s like funk like disco or anything like
Right.
that, but it's like
Right. It's yeah.
more rock influenced like syncopation, and I've always loved that about Pink Floyd.
Deep in the groove.
Deep in the groove for sure, and that's like one of the things that, you know, they could jam, right? Like how you said, oh, maybe Grateful Dead has a similar listening audience to Pink Floyd. It's because they could jam, right?
Right.
And dude, David Gilmour, his guitar playing, man, his
He's one of the most
solos,
underrated guitarists.
for sure. And it's
Oh
not
my
in like
God.
he doesn't play fast, right? It's just the
No.
notes that he
Yep.
picks and how he plays it is just so raw, so good, and the tone that he has on his guitar is so nice too.
Yeah.
And it's not overdone, right? It's not
Right.
Right.
road. It's not like, oh my god, and he's just jamming away. You know, it's just going crazy. It's just perfect. It's just the song, man.
Right.
It's the song. He doesn't.
That's how I feel about "Learn to Fly" is one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs, and that's just the his playing in that is just
effortless.
Like you just said. Yep. So
effortless. Smooth. Yeah. So they have "Money," which is another kind of experimental kind of song, because if in talking in the more musical sense, it's not your, we have most of the songs that we're accustomed to as listeners is just a very very like 4 beats per measure, but that song is actually it has 7 beats per measure.
Yeah.
And they were able to even make that commercially successful, even though it's kind of a more kind of experimental arrangement to the song.
That's what I've always heard, and I've always heard that's the only hit, in that measure.
Yeah, in that time signature. Yeah, because it's like they're like they did it. I don't know. They just made it work, And the saxophone player that they got to play on "Money" and "Us and Them" too. Oof, so good.
Yeah.
I know they credit him in the liner notes, but I don't know. I forget his name.
Nick Perry.
Nick Perry, yeah.
I
remember, yeah.
How hard is it to reproduce that album live, man?
Probably very difficult. You saw it's not just them 4, it's you need to have more people that are helping you and backing you up, because it's not just them 4 on each song, right? It's the synthesizers, the saxophone player, right? You can't have "Money" or "Us and Them" without the saxophone solo.
It's almost he had a whole orchestra when I saw him, and it wasn't a whole orchestra, but there was a lot of people on stage, bro.
Yeah, big ensemble. Yeah,
there was a lot of people on stage.
Yeah, "Us and Them" was one of the songs where I was like, oh man, rock, like you can make songs like this. I didn't know that was possible. That's a great song.
I remember when I bought this album and I was playing. I still lived at home, and my mom was out in the kitchen washing dishes, and "Money" come on, and she could hear it coming out of my room, and she's in the kitchen jamming. She said, "I remember this song."
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Like I said, all sort of themes that everybody can kind of relate to. Money, right? You have your rich, you have your poor, you have your middle class, right? And it's kind of that kind of concept that, like, okay, I have money, I'm gonna go buy myself a football team now, right? Because what else am I gonna do with all this money, right? And were they talking American football, or were they talking English football?
English. The thing that also gets me is, dude, they were so young, and to write. I'm going back to time.
Oh my god!
And to write time and all those themes in time,
Yeah.
That's somebody way older,
Yeah.
thinking along those lines, It's just incredible. It's like I go back to when I was 24, 26, whatever, how old they were when that, and it's like, dude, that's the furthest thing from my mind, man. I'm thinking, imagine them. We're rock stars, or we're about to be massive. It's timeless music, timeless.
Yeah, 45 million copies sold worldwide. That's a timeless album.
It's like we do the Start Me Up show, right? Right, Javi? And we go through those lists and we hear those songs, and not every song is timeless. There's songs that are like, okay, this fits. You can tell. We do the 80s. This is pure 80s. We do the 50s. Oh, yeah, we do the 60s. This is still freaking sounds fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't feel, at least to me. I might be wrong. My daughter might have a different opinion, or but I don't hear the 70s in this. I just hear beautiful music. Like you hear Credence, and your mind goes to freaking Vietnam. It's just that's the way. You don't get that with this. It's just timeless to me, at least in my opinion. It's just timeless.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lyric in Time that I wish I knew the exact lyric. But it talks about, you're running and you're trying to
You run.
you try to catch up to the
Catch up with the
sun, but
moment.
it's sinking.
Yep.
Right?
Um,
And then it just comes and rises back up again, and you're kind of just in this cycle.
Donnie, see if you could bring up the lyrics to Time, because I'm trying to remember the lyrics as well, and I can't for the life of me. And it's like I gotta hear it to know the lyrics. Because I've been sitting here too, trying to think of the lyrics to Time, and it's just gorgeous, and I can't get it.
All right. I need that anymore. All right. Oop. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, and then of course they have the reprise for Breathe right at the end there.
Dude, every year is getting shorter. Never seem to find the time.
Yeah. It's really cathartic.
God.
It fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way. I mean, that's my life in a nutshell.
Those are. It's like an older man writing that, dude. It's the every year is getting shorter. Never seem to find. That's exactly what happens when you get old, dude. The years just fly by. Then when you're a kid, a year took forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And every year you get older, it just gets faster and faster. And dude, the time is gone. The song is over.
Yep.
I had something more to say. Dude, you said so, and the thing is, he said so much. God. Amazing lyrics.
Yeah.
Amazing lyrics.
Yeah.
Never get tired of hearing this, man.
No. Especially that song. That's probably next to Learning to Fly, that's probably my favorite Pink Floyd song. I love that song. God, I love that song. It's like Sublime Santeria. I stop what I'm doing and jam to that song.
Dude, I always associate Time with Have a Cigar on Wish You Were Here. Yeah. I always see these two songs, they're very, to me, I always associate them together. But it's so good. So freaking good. Where we at?
I don't know what else to talk about we pretty much covered everything.
We pretty much covered
production.
It all. Also Great Gig in the Sky. The
singer?
the singer that they got for Great Gig in the Sky, man. Kudos to
Yeah.
her.
Oh my God.
Kudos to her, man.
Dynamite.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they.
Yeah, I think she's credited on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they were just like, I think
Yeah.
they just told her, they were just like, go for it, you know? They didn't
Claire
really have.
I think I've heard
Claire
that.
Torrey.
Claire what?
Claire Torrey.
Tori.
I love that song, man. Great Gig in the Sky. Because more alluding to Sid Barrett, where is he, right? He's in the Great Gig in the Sky. He's continuing playing music up there where,
Dude, it's freaking crazy, dude. I love it. This is a desert island album for me.
nice.
Sure. Desert Island album. Maybe we should do a show like that too. Your 5 desert island songs.
Songs or albums?
Or albums.
Yeah.
This is on my list easily. I might have them all. I might have Animals, Freaking Wish You Were Here, and The Wall. That's 4. That's 4 right there, and then I'll have to think of another one. I'll stick in Culture Club. Culture Club will be my.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be my
but
album.
definitely overall great album. Like you said, Hialeah, timeless for sure.
Yeah. This time.
Timeless while maintaining time within the album.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I had to say that.
Yeah.
I brought up my daughter earlier, and and I said that she might associate it with being old, which I'm pretty sure she would. But at the same time, my 3 kids grew up listening to this nonstop. So this is their youth, because this is part of their youth, because they know all these albums, because I had them on loop pretty much in the car. So it is part of their youth. Freaking can't say enough of this album, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can't say enough.
All right. Well, there you have it. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. I think the consensus of the panel is that it's one of our top albums, top 5, top 10, whatever you want to say. Just a fantastic record overall.
Cover to cover.
Cover to cover.
Cover
To cover. Unruly. Man, I expected more people to be here for this one, but I guess Dark Side of the Moon isn't that important.
We should do come a chameleon, man. We should do.
They'll show up in droves for that.
What do you have cooking up next? Do you know?
Have you come up with something, Donnie?
There's so many I want to do.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I was thinking maybe an Iron Maiden album.
Oh, nice. Iron Maiden sounds good.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go with that. What do you think? What are you thinking, Hialeah? Which one should we do?
Oh no! This is you pick this. You pick this one. You pick Dark Side, and that's right up my wheelbarrow. This is on you. You don't have to pick it right now. You got time. We got time.
Okay.
We got time. Iron Maiden sounds good though. Iron Maiden's a good.
All right. We'll figure it out, I guess. I guess we'll highlight you guys and you can say what's coming up on your channels.
Hey.
I know what's coming up on your channel.
I got the Johnson show on Monday night. I got I'm gonna do a CDC discussion with Vancouver Comic Junkie and Comic Book 62 on my channel on Tuesday at 9. We're just going to be talking all things TBC. We got Inquiry Minds on Wednesday, and hopefully that's it for this week. I think that's enough. That's enough. I've been busy.
All right. Javi, what do you got going on?
Got Silver Age Sunday tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Hanging out with the mightiest panel of them all, showing off some books. And then in 2 weeks, I forget the date, but the Start Me Up show is back at it again. Our music showdown challenge. And I got Inquiry Minds with Hialeah as well every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And hopefully I'll be here next time for Cover to Cover.
All right.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Let's just say, make me big real quick. I got my ears picked for the next Start Me Up. I got my disco ball ready. So, can only imagine the years that I'm going to pick.
Awesome.
So, tune in for that. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I have Sunday Morning Live coming up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Nice.
And beyond that, I don't have any idea. I know I have a video in the queue that I don't know whether I'm going to upload or not, but we'll see what happens. I did a Build-A-Figure.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's the only one I've done, but the video is real clunky, and I don't know if I want to put that up. But anyway, beyond that, join us 2 weeks from tonight. I think that's the weekend before Thanksgiving, isn't it? Oh my God.
Already, right? Already November.
Wow.
We can be no.
Anyway.
We'll see.
Anyway, 2 weeks from tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel right here with Hialeah, and if Javi is interested in joining us, maybe we can get somebody else on the channel as well. Maybe Gray Man would be interested in joining.
The same thing.
Gray Man, we need you. He says he wants to do Killers.
He wants to do Killers.
Yeah.
That's the album that got me into Iron Maiden, so that may be the one. So,
dude,
anyway,
Iron Maiden, man.
Yeah, there's so many to
Are you
choose
just
from.
gonna pick bands with and albums with great guitar players? Because I'm all about it. If that's
Maybe.
That's where we're going. It seems like that's what we're projecting.
No, all of them are great. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess from Hialeah and Javi and myself, keep collecting, keep reading, and keep sharing.
Peace.
Listen to music.
Listen to music.
Yes. Rock on.